How are you, sir?
I'm good. I hope you are.
I'm doing good, doing good. A little bit of Friday night action for everybody, apparently, huh?
Evidently.
You know, just get just a little bit of something right into the weekend, so.
Well, say what you may about this president, but there's never a dull moment.
That is very true. Sure. They're just checking the router real quick to make sure it's rolling. But yeah, that is true. There's never a dull moment. That's for absolute sure. So where are you this week? Are you in Washington or are you back home? Well, you were just here the other day.
No, I'm home. I'm home. I've been out to the West Coast earlier this week, but got back home and had to go up to Waynesboro to Plant Vogel this afternoon. The Secretary of Energy, Rick Terry, was there. So.
Okay, that's right, over at Plant Vogel. So what did they,
Yeah.
And I haven't gotten a chance to see very much of what they're saying about that, so.
Oh, no, it's great. They're moving right along and making progress, and today was a significant day.
I know we did some things with your homelessness summit the other day. How were the kids over in Richmond Hill, too? Did you enjoy that, the little Q&A with them?
Oh, yeah, that's the most fun of any part of this job. That's what I enjoy the most. I mean, I tell you, they are astute. They are engaged. They know what's going on.
They really do. They're sharper than ever. I went to high school the other day to speak, and I was just amazed at how sharp they are. So,
Sure.
We don't want to hold you too long. I guess just first reaction, obviously, it's been about 2 years since the Mueller report, the Mueller investigation has gone on for the last 2 years. What's your feeling now that the report has finally been handed in?
Well, first of all, I have a feeling of relief. Thank goodness it's over with. And secondly, evidently there's not going to be any more subpoenas, and that's good news. So I think it does represent a finality. And finally, we can put this behind us and know that, depending on what the report says, and hopefully we'll get to see the report, or at least a synopsis of the report, if not this weekend, then certainly the first of next week. But, evidently the special counsel found no collusion, and that's good news.
Well, I know they said they don't plan for more indictments at this point. I don't think we know what obviously the body of the report says right now, but that's the question out there for a lot of people is, do no indictments mean no collusion in your mind? No new indictments mean no collusion in your mind?
Well, I think to a certain extent it has to. If there were collusion, then I think that we would have had more indictments already, and that people who were involved in it, particularly if it had been with the Trump campaign, that they would have been indicted. They weren't. So to me, that indicates good news. But we'll know in a few days. There's no need to speculate right now. We'll just be patient through the weekend. I mean, we've waited 2 years. We can wait 2 more days.
Absolutely. The question that's come up a lot has been transparency so far. How quickly the Attorney General said he could even start releasing some things to Congress or to certain members of Congress this weekend. From there, how quickly would you like to see everything? And then the other question will be, what should be released to the public and how much?
Well, I have voted to release the report to the public. Now, I haven't seen the actual report itself. I don't know if there's confidential information that needs to be suppressed. I hope that's not the case. I hope that the full report can be released to the public. I think the public needs to know. They deserve to know. They paid a lot of money for this report. A lot of taxpayer money went into this, and the citizens deserve that. They deserve to know. But then again, as I say, I haven't seen the report yet. I haven't seen the synopsis. So it's really presumptuous of me to say one way or the other right now.
Well, but the question would be how much, the idea beyond the confidential information, how important do you believe it is as this investigation has gone on and now apparently concluded that the public get to see some of these things that have come up with all the back and forth that's gone on before this investigation was even released?
I think it's extremely important, and that's why I voted in favor of the legislation that called for the president to release this report. And that's why I will continue to press for this to be released. That is not going to jeopardize anything. Obviously, if it's intelligence information, which I can't imagine, but if it is, then that might have to be suppressed.
Will this try to bring some of this back together and we can get back to business as usual in Congress? Obviously, you guys have done as much business as you can, but there's been hanging over the entire situation this time.
Well, I would agree with you wholeheartedly. And yes, I hope that this brings an end to it and that we can get on to the real issues that are impacting the American people. High prescription drug costs. That's something, that's very close to me and very important to me. All the things that matter to people, talking about the immigration problem, talking and coming up with solutions about that, addressing the issues that are important to the American people and putting this behind us and moving forward.
Is that still a capability right now with the way Congress is working, with the divisions that seem to be there across party lines and more?
Well, it is my hope that that would be the case. Now, I will tell you the truth. Thus far, with the new majority that we have, the Democratic majority, it appears that they are more interested in investigations than they are in legislation. For instance, on the Health Subcommittee that I serve on in Energy and Commerce, our first 3 hearings were on the Affordable Care Act and how we could shore up the Affordable Care Act. I kept asking in all 3 meetings, when are we going to get to prescription drug pricing? Well, finally, the 4th meeting, we got to it. So my hope is that this majority, this new majority, is going to stop with the investigations. They're going to stop with their own politics and start addressing issues that are important to the American people.
What should the people take away? Obviously, we don't know what's in this report at any point right now until we see it. But what should the American people take away from the 2-year investigation and what's to come in, say, the next week or 2 weeks as this investigation is finally released?
Well, a couple of things. First of all, I think it's important to note that the president never intervened in this. Now, there were times that he talked about it, but he never did. He let the process go through. Everything I've ever heard about Bob Mueller is that he was a fine fellow, a fine man who did a good job when he was FBI director, and people respected him. He's had his opportunity to do the work. Now the report is out there. Let's see what it says, and let's move forward.
And that's really the key. I think you're right. Let's move forward and get on to business. So thank you so much, Congressman, for a little bit of time on a Friday evening. Go back and enjoy yourself.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Okay, man.
You too. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.